I get that many Americans aren't interested in football almost at all, to the point where you even call it disparagingly soccer. But this is not about the game. This is the bewildering decision of FIFA to host the championship in Qatar. And you may wonder, well, what is wrong with that? Apparently, Qatar decided to build a stadium. And some workers, some migrant workers that were building the stadium, have died. How many, you ask? Well, according to the Washington Post, thousands. Okay, like human rights groups say, thousands of migrant workers during the Qatar's nearly 12 years of preparation for the World Cup have tarnished the tournament, exposing lax oversight by soccer's institutional governing body, FIFA, due to the abusive behavior. You know, the question is like how much money was exchanged behind the scenes. I find it absolutely hilarious, the brainless take on some people on Reddit, as well as some people on Twitter, going like, oh, well, Qatar needs to change its culture and open its borders and be more tolerant, because otherwise it's economic suicide. It's Qatar, okay? Their main ally is the United States, so they already have a military. They don't need to spend money on the defense budget. And secondly, they have oil. They don't need to do jack shit. You know, that's it. All right, fine. Trying to understand people on Reddit. The other interesting take is that, again, it's a Muslim nation. It's a theocracy. Like, it's not a democracy. No, it's a theocracy. And part of the Islamic faith is to ban alcohol. So if you're going to have an event where you want people, tourists, to come all over the world, especially football enthusiasts, banning drinks, which is something that happened, and anyone who understands Islamic culture wouldn't be shocked about this. Of course, people were very upset. So, yeah, like a last minute decision on banning alcohol around the stadium. I mean, duh. Empty seats. But, of course, the most pressing and the most important issue of the day isn't the migrants that passed away or, you know, Qatar's very questionable practices when dealing with migrant workers. And there are many documentaries on YouTube highlighting that problem. No, of course, the issue is with the LGBT community, which, granted, you know, in this situation, I do understand. In Qatar, if you are gay, if you are accused of being a homosexual, you don't, you know, get some harsh words and criticism. No, they send you to jail. This is very similar what the communist countries used to do here in Eastern Europe. So there is indeed a problem with LGBT rights in Qatar. We're not even talking about gay marriage. We're talking like, can we please not lock them up? Like, so because of that, you now have football players which are deciding to virtue signal. And I do support this particular initiative because it puts Qatar in a very difficult situation. Again, people who are LGBT in Qatar get arrested. Now, doing propaganda about, like, raising awareness, how they say it. I shouldn't say it, propaganda. Raising awareness about the issue is heavily frowned upon. The problem is, like, what can the Qatarian government do? Like, if you have a famous football player, you're not going to be able to arrest him because you create an international incident. You can deport him, I guess, but then, well, you spend all the money on a stadium and now you're going to deport the football players? So what they did instead, I assume, is they went behind the closed doors and are now pressuring FIFA to enforce their regulations about the clothes that people are allowed to wear, the dress code, right? I'm pretty sure that if they would have like a BLM armband or something like that, it would have been no problem. But due to the nature, I mean, it's Qatar, a sensitivity issue. So there you go. This created a scandal which placed both FIFA and Qatar in a difficult situation. If they decide to enforce their dress codes, they're going to probably have more reason for people to boycott them. If they decide not to enforce the dress codes, it puts the Qatarian leadership in a difficult situation. Like, what do they do? Do they deport him? Do they allow him? Right? So, yeah, I find this interesting. A lot of people are asking, well, what about the U.S. logo? And by the way, like, the U.S. having a football team, a soccer team, like, it blows my mind. I didn't even know they existed. But I guess, you know, this is a smart decision because now I know they exist. Like, they do have the rainbow color. Oh, okay, so the U.S. has a football. All right. This apparently is according to the dress code. So the Qatari government is going to be in a little bit of a pickle. But you know what? They wanted the FIFA. Like, they wanted it in their country. I don't think it ended up the way they wanted it to end up. I don't think FIFA got what they wanted to get. Take into account, like, when this deal was made was when Islam was very popular among left-leaning people. You know, this is before the time of President Macron talking about how Islamo-leftism is breaking the republic apart and blah, blah, blah. No, like, at the time, it was like, oh, it was like at the top of the progressive ladder. So, you know, the deal then was probably a good idea. Now, things aren't so much the same. Now it's the LGBT that's at the top of the progressive ladder. So it's causing controversy. It's causing all of this mishap. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.